Hello everyone, my name is Professor Deathkiller and welcome back to Learning Legacy Words with me. Today we'll be covering Chapter 3 and talking about the word shitter and its importance in legacy words as a whole. Now at first glance it doesn't seem that way, but I assure you this is a very valuable topic to cover, so make sure to take notes along the way. The first question we have to ask ourselves is, what is sarcasm? As sarcasm is the true origin of this lesson. Well, according to the American Dictionary, we can define sarcasm as a use of wit that is intended to cause inert feelings. Well, that doesn't sound quite right. We can also use sarcasm for the purpose of entertaining, right? Well, I believe so. And since the dictionary itself doesn't want to believe that fact, we come to legacy words for guidance. Legacy words have a practice known as sarcastic undertones. Sarcastic undertones is being sarcastic to please or satisfy someone or a group of people in a humorous, non-toxic manner. Sarcastic undertones use irony to create a humorous notion. However, we can enhance this even further by the use of legacy words, or applying the principle of legacy words to words. Now, that was a lot to take in all at once, so we'll start with a simple word so that you can get the hang of things. And as I'm sure you might have guessed, this word is shitter. Now, shitter by itself is a word used to harm or berate others for being trash or otherwise lacking in skill. There are countless examples of this, but the most common we come across is the infamous mage build. Every pre-existing CC member, my bad Lord Zoth, and of course, anyone who plays Heimerdinger in League of Legends. Actually go kill yourself. Since we know what shitter means, the real question now is, how do we change that meaning with the use of legacy words? Looking at the CC member example, we're going to pretend that the person on the left is a leader of Crimson Crescent, and the person on the right is going to represent Crimson Crescent as a whole. Now the person on the left is going to attempt to charm their members by using sarcastic undertones with the word shitter. Oh, well, that didn't go as expected. It seems like they didn't even use legacy words at all. Let's try and go back and change that. Alright. Let's try and make this a little better. Not by just changing the tone so we sound less aggressive, but also by adding a few legacy words into the mix, as we can see right here and here. Surely now we'll get a good response from the humble members of Crimson Crescent. Well, would you look at that? These two have surely become homies for life and the best of friends. Now this is the power of using sarcastic undertones, but it's also important to try and fit in as many legacy words as you possibly can into your sentences to maximize performance, as we just saw in this example. Legacy words are just that, words. But using words to create meaning can create real and true experiences like we see here. The future for these two is as bright as day, and I wish them the very best. Surely their relationship will not be cast away on the whim of laziness and lack of intention. Surely their friendship will prosper through the seven seas. Because in this world of magic, the real friends we made along the way was the Arcane Odyssey. Another example we can reference is the mage build example. Now the person you see there on the left is known as Gabe. Keep in mind we'll talk more about Gabe and the mage build in chapter 13, but for now we'll just use him for the shitter example. So anyways, Gabe is a mage build, as we all know, and again we'll talk about why being a mage build classifies him as a shitter in future chapters, but all you need to know right now is that he is one. Unfortunately, he's been struggling with some bosses. He's been having a hard time. Now if Gabe's friends were to call him a shitter, it doesn't always have to be in the intention of harm. It could also be in the intention of encouragement in overcoming challenges beset upon you. It would be so that you could reclaim your title and not be labeled as a shitter. Like I always say, live life on your own terms and make a change. But as it stands, Gabe currently is nothing but a mage building shitter, and that will continue to be his title until the end of days, or until he decides that this title does not define who he is. We've had a pretty emotional episode in today's teachings of legacy words, and we learned a lot about changing the meaning of words and accepting others to those modified meanings. Because in the end, legacy words are just a tool to unite yourself with others, so that at the end of the day we can all be little homies and accept each other for who we are. Before we go, I'd like to remind everyone to please play Barochama. Zykrov literally spent $40 in the game he wants us to play. Please just play the game. We can play with 4 people. We don't even need everyone to be online. Zykrov is still Australian, but he can literally get on at a reasonable time. It doesn't matter. Just play the fucking game. He's literally on his hands and knees begging, crying, shitting, coming. Just play the game, bro. It's literally just Among Us. It's Among Us, dude. It's literally Among Us on a freaking submarine, bro. I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate. I didn't get paid money for this. Just play the game.